Hello, hello, it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Today I'm going to share with you some projects that I made with the February 2021 Bouquet of Hope Paper Pumpkin Kit. Do you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin? This is a monthly project kit subscription from Stampin', and this is the one from last month, so you cannot currently get this kit. You can get a refill of the kit if you're a subscriber. And let me give you a little sneak peek. Where did my paper go? If you subscribe now, you'll get the next kit, which comes out in the middle of March. And it is this beautiful Nature's Beauty kind of, I think it's called Here's to You. This is a pretty big sneak peek. Usually with Paper Pumpkin, we don't get a big sneak peek. But this kit will include a free gift, a 4-pack of stencils and a sponge. I'm going to show this again later, but right now I want to focus on this kit. Every time you get a Paper Pumpkin box, it's kind of like a little present. It's even wrapped up in tissue paper. Each Paper Pumpkin project kit includes an exclusive stamp set, a little mini ink spot. This one came with Mossy Meadow, and the pre-cut materials to make a set of projects. Now, usually we get a little bit of detail ahead of time, so we knew that this project kit was going to make 9 cards. Get this out of the way. So we've got pre-cut materials in here to make 9 cards. Let me pull it out and kind of show you. I used up my other kit, so I don't have anything left to show you except a few sequins and a random card base. But here we have the color pictures of what the cards look like. I almost never make my projects like they're designed. Not because I don't like the designs, but I just like the challenge of creating my own projects. On the back, we have a list of the coordinating colors along with some alternative projects. And this is important, especially this month. There are instructions inside that kind of walk you through how to make the projects. Now, if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, then that means you live in North America, either United States or Canada, because Paper Pumpkin is not available as a subscription kit in our other markets. However, this kit is going to be a global release kit, I believe in April. If you're in other Stampin' Up! Markets, you're going to be able to get this kit. And so if you're a normal subscriber, you're going to notice we have some instructions in different languages. So that's why, because this is a global kit. So I'm so excited for all of our Stampin' Up! Friends around the globe that you'll get to make these projects as well. Hey everybody who's just joining. Oh my gosh. I was really excited about this kit. And I really love the beautiful colors. We've got mint macaron, just jade, rococo rose. Oh, look at this, Mary Merlot. This is a color that I really haven't used a lot. And if you haven't either, you're going to fall in love with it. It's just so beautiful. We've got die cut tags. We've got somewhere in here some die cut flowers. Aren't those beautiful? We've got some foil vellum. Oh my gosh. And then we have some laser cut foil frames. Holy smokes, so beautiful. So you get all your pieces that are ready to go. You can assemble your cards just as they're designed, or you can create something new and different. So today I'm going to show you the projects that I created that are new and different. I always forget to say this, but Paper Pumpkin also includes the adhesive. So you literally have everything that you need to create your projects. Now, in your very first kit, you're going to get a clear block similar to this size that you can use for all your stamps and all your projects. So if you don't have a clear block, if you really are a brand new stamper, you can start with Paper Pumpkin and get everything that you need. Now, this is an extra kit. I do have one. So if you're in the United States and did not subscribe to get this kit and you want one, let me know and I can get you hooked up with my extra one. If you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can get a refill of this kit. So that's all the stuff that came in the plastic. No ink, no stamps, but you get all the guts, all the stuff to make the cards. You can get that in my online store at juliedavison.com/shop. The item number is 156917. They're $10 each, and you have to be a subscriber in order to get those refills. However, if you subscribe now to get the next kit, then you can get the refill of this kit and substitute and use your own stamps at home. If you subscribe with me, you're going to get a bonus PDF every month that includes 10 to 12 bonus project ideas using that month's kit. kit. So I will be sending that out hopefully tomorrow. If you're one of my subscribers, watch for the email to come through with that. If you're not yet, this is the next kit you can get if you subscribe now. And you can do that at tinyurl.com/paperpumpkinsubscribe. That link will get you to subscribe just with me, Julie Davison. Let's dig in. Let's take a look at some of the cards that I made. Here's a reminder of the cards, the way Stampin' Up! Designed them. So I'm using all these little pieces to create something new. And one of the things that I always do, and if you've watched my paper pumpkin videos before, you know, I always cut apart the envelopes. Usually the envelopes have a printed liner inside, and so I always feel like that is just a bonus pattern that we get to use in the paper pumpkin kits. So my first few cards are using some of the patterns that I got from the envelope liner. So here I just used 2 different envelope liners, and I sort of just arranged the pieces in a different way. This is Mary Merlot card base. When I make my alternative card designs, I try not to add too many additional supplies. So for this one, it was just the cardstock base. Oh, I did add the circle punch, and some of my sentiments I just drew from the Touch of Ink. This was a celebration stamp set that you could get during celebration free with a $100 order. And I just love these sentiments. And so I did use some of these sentiments on my alternative cards because the stamps in the set, beautiful. We've got Sorry for Your Loss, I'll Always Be Here for You, and then an inside sentiment. But I wanted to make cards that I could use for other occasions besides sympathy. So I picked out that stamp set. So you'll see a lot of different greetings in these projects that I've made. So you can substitute stamps you have at home. You don't always have to use the stamps that come in the kit to make your cards. Here's one. Does this look familiar? In my last celebration spotlight video, I created this card using the rectangular postage punch right there, and the Punch Party stamp set. And so I really love that layout, and I thought I'm going to go ahead and make it with my paper pumpkin kit. So here is that card design. These 3 are envelope liners, and then this one is a card base. So I just punched from the different colors and love the way those patterns and colors look together. Rococo Rose, Mary Merlot, Bumblebee, and Mossy Meadow. So beautiful. Here's another one where I cut apart the envelope liner, same here with the layer of pink. Using Mary Merlot again, I add a stitched circle. Everything else came from the kit. So we've got a little twine bow and sequins. Those came in the kit. You can see I at the very end of my twine roll, I tried to use as many pieces as I could from the kit. Here's another alternative card. I cut apart the card base. I love how this brings out that soft Just Jade flower in the bouquet. So I really love this color. I think it's such a difference. We've got the bouquet here, same bouquet die cut, but it makes such a difference. The colors really set the tone of this card, right? So this one is a lot darker, more richer color, and this one is just a lot brighter. I feel like this is more celebratory, maybe because the lighter color, and this one is a little more thinking of you, comfort. So I chose sentiments to reflect that tone, I think. This is a card layout that I've used quite a bit. I think I made a card with the berry comforting, and I did the same thing. So this was here's the card base originally. So it had the pattern on the front, and this would be the back side, but I just cut it lengthwise, and then I covered up that center score line with the tag. Now, honestly, I felt kind of overwhelmed with the giant the giant laser cut doily. I'm at a loss for words. You know what I'm talking about. And so I decided to cut it apart and just use an edge. And I love how it just adds like a touch of elegance there, just a little bit, and it doesn't overwhelm the card. I did a similar thing with another piece of the doily. I cut it long ways and turned it over. And then I really love how you can use the white side and you still get that beautiful detail of the flower, but it's not too flashy and overwhelming. This is the envelope liner in the background here, and then all the other pieces besides the card base are from the kit. One of my favorite things about Paper Pumpkin is the exclusive stamp set. Now, I've been asked this question before. This stamp set is only available in the Paper Pumpkin kit. It is not available to purchase outside of Paper Pumpkin. And one thing that Paper Pumpkin does is they create a stamp case insert. So this is a really great way to store your stamps when you're all done with your kit. So you can print this out, and I just printed that on copy paper, and I cut it down, and it slides right into an empty stamp case. And now I can keep these stamps on my shelf with my other stamps, and I can see what stamps are in there. So this is a really great way to organize your stamps when you're all done. And by subscribing to Paper Pumpkin, you can build a whole stamp collection and ink spot collection. So even after you finish all your cards, you're still going to be able to use these over and over and over again for more cards in the future. Oh, that's the new one. I'll put that over here. So here is a card that I created with that stamp, with a beautiful bouquet and the sentiment that says, "I'll always be here for you." Here's the vellum layers. So I love how it just sort of highlights and makes this simple card really, really beautiful. I used markers inspired by the colors in the kit. So Rococo Rose, Mary Merlot. I used a lighter yellow daffodil and the mossy meadow. So beautiful. Okay, I was inspired. You guys know I case a lot. That means copy and share everything, or copy and selectively edit. Well, I was inspired by this alternative project that the Paper Pumpkin team included on the back of the insert. And so I want to show you the card that I made and how they did this. So we've got, you can see the little vellum pattern with the leaves. So we're going to grab out our paper trimmer, and I'm going to take that vellum frame. So it is empty in the middle, just has the frame on the outside. So those are going to be my guide, and I'm going to cut with the paper cutter. Oh, I meant to go the other direction. Oh my goodness. So you want to cut the short ends first so that you can have them be a little longer. I did the long end, and so now I've got really short pieces. So that's a little hint. Make sure you do the short ends first. Oh well, I have a finished card to show you. I could still show you this idea. So we're going to use these pieces on the card, and then we're going to save this one for the next card. So don't throw that away. All right, now for the card base, I used, just like they did in the sample, I used the little trio of flowers, and I'm just going to stamp some in each corner of the card. I'm using Mossy Meadow ink, which is the same color that comes in the kit. I just like to use the bigger ink pad and save that for a giveaway. So I've got the flowers in the corner, and then I'm going to add the vellum strips. Now, because I cut that one funny, I would use my scissors and make them. I want them all to be approximately the same size. They don't all have to be exactly the same length. And so I just staggered them on the card like this. Now the vellum it is tricky to put adhesive on. So I used a little bit of the liquid, the multi-purpose liquid glue, and I added it underneath the pattern. So I just did a few dots, and I only did it in the center because I knew that the center would kind of be covered up by my elements, and I didn't want it to show through and be messy. I'm going to stamp a sentiment here and add that, as well as some die cuts. And here is the finished card. I also added some loops of twine back here. I put some sequins in the middle of the flower die cuts. That's the one thing I wish there were more of in this kit. I just love these die cuts. They're so beautiful, and I love the sort of watercolor style. All right, are you ready to see what I did with the leftover piece of vellum? Let me get out some more pieces. For this card, I wanted to create kind of a fun flap. Now, I'm not going to be able to show you the whole card because I'm out of die cuts, but what I did was I layered the vellum on a piece of Bumblebee, and then I have a piece of Rococo Rose. Actually, no, this isn't Rococo Rose. This is one of the card bases that came in the kit. So we've got just this plain Rococo Rose on one side, and here's the original design. So they had the vellum piece over that Rococo Rose card base. So I'm using this card base that came in the kit. So the only piece I'm adding here is that that bumblebee. Now I want to use this beautiful bouquet in the middle. And I'm going to stamp that just in Rococo Rose ink. And then I'm going to do the sentiment in Memento Black. Oops, sorry, that's so loud. And this is the one from the kit. So it says, "I'll always be here for you." And it's important, if you're going to stamp on the inside of your card, if you're going to do the same design that I'm doing, make sure that you stamp before you start assembling. I made the mistake of stamping after I started assembling, and the card was not even on the back side because you're going to add this piece here. And so when I stamped the flowers, like, this was uneven, and so it didn't stamp right, and I had to stamp another piece and add it over. It was kind of a pain. Okay, so this is part of the card front, and I cut it down to, so let me show you the card base from this kit here. So I just cut this down to 2.5, so it's already got the score line from the card base, and I'm going to wrap it around the card this way. Now, these are the same size, but when you wrap it around, you may find that it doesn't go all the way across. So I'm going to just take the paper trimmer and trim just a little bit off. Like, I'm talking 1/8 of an inch, not very much, just a little bit, so that when this wraps around, it goes all the way across and there's no gap. Okay, to decorate this front just a little bit more, I cut apart the envelope liner, Rococo Rose, and that's going to go on the front. So this is just cut down to I think it's 3 7/8 inch by 5 1/8. Okay, that's going to be on the front. Then these are going like opposite score lines, right? So the score line's here, this one's here, and I'm going to attach this only on the back. No adhesive on the front. Let's get that right in the center. Okay, so now it opens like a double open. And this, I feel like I cut just a wee bit too much, so we're just going to trim that. It's easier to trim than to have it not be long enough. Okay, so then this part would go here on the front. I'm going to switch to my finished sample so you can see what that looks like. I added the die cut, and so what I did was I glued the die cut to the vellum. And then I turned the vellum over and I put Stampin' Dimensionals where the die cut was, and then put that onto the bumblebee. So here is the finished card. So we've got the flap that opens this way, and then here you could add something here if you want, especially if it's smaller than this, because it would just be like a little surprise when you open this one and then open that. You can see I had to put another layer in there because of my mistake. I love the way that turned out. Again, I just feel like the Rococo Rose and then this stripe piece just really is such a bright, fun combination. Okay, here's another thing that I was kind of stumped with. And I have to tell you, I don't ever look at the directions. Remember I showed you that insert includes directions. Well, since I don't make the cards like they are designed, I don't usually look at the directions. I'll admit, how many of you look at the directions in your paper pumpkin kit? Okay, I don't. So when I try to use my thinking of you, I'm trying to carefully peel it. You'll notice here we've got French on top and German on the bottom. So that's why, remember I told you it was a global kit. So I tried to carefully peel it up, and it tore, and it was a hot mess. Okay, so I don't know if you guys had the same problem, but my first time peeling it, I thought, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to be able to use this thinking of you. And then I was looking over the directions when I was almost done making cards, and I was like, oh, do you see this first tip? The first tip is telling you to keep it on the sheet and to like lift up all these extra little pieces, including the background. And then you'll be able to lift the thinking of you without ruining it, because you'll already have peeled away all of the extra pieces that you don't need. Now, I'm not being very gentle with the German greeting because I don't need it. But this is, the die cut is very heavy. It's not like a little sticker. It's like, the whole thing is sticky. So in that way, it's like a sticker, but it's a heavy cardstock weight, which makes it really kind of tricky to work with. So you want to try to peel away all of the extra around the sentiment. And I already did ahead of time all these like little pieces inside the letter, so that you have the sticker ready to go and you haven't tried to peel the word, so you're not having the problem that I had where it's breaking and peeling up on itself. Now it's going to peel off as one clean thing and it'll be all ready to go right onto your project. So let me show you what I did with the die cut after I figured it out. I had used most of the pieces in my kit and I didn't have a whole lot left. So I just used a little bit of the Mary Merlot card base and a little piece of Whisper white cardstock, basic white cardstock. So this is 3 3/4 inches by 4 1/4. And so I'm going to put this down on the card, and I'm kind of going to one side, like a little bit, about an inch or so on the left, maybe 3/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to do the 1 inch by 5 1/2 inch piece of the card base. That's going to come down here toward the bottom. And now I'm going to put the sticker here. And so now that I've peeled everything else away, it's a lot easier to peel this delicate sticky die cut without tearing it. Put that right in there. Now I have to tell you, once it's down, it's down. Like, there's no Julie can tear it back up. No. Julie cannot tear it back up. Once that sticky die cut is down, it is not coming back up. All right, so I really loved that. Really simple. And I decided just to add a little bit of ribbon. This did not come in the kit. This is Bumblebee ribbon, because I wanted to bring in another color. So I've got my die cut here and it has the yellow flower in it. And so I decided to just cut a bit of ribbon. So I'm going to cut this down just a little bit here. And that looks about right. So I'm going to use my little trick. You guys know I love to use the tear and tape to hold my ribbon down in place. Keep it flat. And then I'm going to add the die cut with Stampin' Dimensionals. Here's our sheet. Okay, so, oh, you know what I forgot to add? I wanted to add some of the sequins. Oh, here they are. We'll add a few of the sequins. There's 2 different sizes. There's a large and then a small. And we'll do one more. Up there. So that's how I used the Thinking of You. At the very end, like I said, I didn't have a whole lot left, so you might come up with a different way to use the Thinking of You, but I'm so glad I figured out how to salvage my stickers and didn't ruin them all. You get 3 Thinking of Yous because there's 3 of each card design in the original kit, but you can mix and match and do whatever you want. So the original kit made 9 cards, and I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the other ones I started, 11. 12, 13 if I finish the other 2 cards. So lots of different card designs. I hope that I've inspired you with this kit. Now, if you don't have paper pumpkin, you can still make the same layouts, the same kind of card designs with the other designer paper and pieces that you have at home. So I hope that I've inspired you. If you're interested in subscribing to Paper Pumpkin, make sure to subscribe by March 10th to get the next kit. This is the Here's to You kit, and it will include a free gift because we are celebrating Paper Pumpkin's anniversary. I believe it is 8 years. I'm not sure. They didn't say for sure, but I think it's been 8 years that Paper Pumpkin has been doing monthly kits. Here's a little sneak peek. It's going to be another card kit. And I forgot how many cards it's going to make. I think it's 3 cards each of 3 different designs again. So I'm really excited. This is definitely my jam. I love the colors. I love the theme, the sunset and nature. And I can't wait to play with these stencils. So if you want to subscribe with me, you can do that at tinyurl.com/paperpumpkinsubscribe. If you are already subscribed with me, watch for the Bouquet of Hope Paper Pumpkin project ideas, the bonus ideas. I'll be sending that email out tomorrow. And you can also get the Bouquet of Hope refill kit 156917 in the online store at juliedavison.com/shop. Thanks for tuning in today. I will be live again on Thursday at 7:10 p.m. for Thursday night stamp therapy. So I will hope that you will join me then. Thanks so much. Happy stamping!